Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Renu Kataria with the Midday News. The headlines. Niti Aayog releases Sustainable Development Goals Sdg India Index and Dashboard 2020-21. Sdg score improves by 6 points in 2020-21. Centre issues advisory to states and union territories to issue ration cards to the most vulnerable and economically weaker sections of population through a special drive. Health Ministry finalizes arrangements with Hyderabad-based Biological E Limited for 30 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses. Home Minister Amit Shah dedicates 9 oxygen plants set up in different hospitals of Gujarat virtually. India reports 1.34 lakh new COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours. National recovery rate stands at 92.79%, over 22 crore vaccine doses to the beneficiaries till now. Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand cancel 12th board exams in the wake of COVID pandemic. Bihar and West Bengal introduces mobile COVID vaccination center for speedy coverage. Southwest monsoon makes onset over southern parts of Kerala. And in hockey, Indian men's team maintain 4th, while women's team hold to 9th position in FIH World Rankings. In the wake of COVID-19, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard and stay safe and protected by following these 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene, and get vaccinated. For providing COVID-related information and guidance to the people, national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 are operational. And now the news in detail. The third edition of the Sustainable Development Goals Sdg India Index and Dashboard 2020-21 was released by Niti Aayog today. The report titled Sdg India Index and Dashboard 2020-21 Partnerships in the Decade of Action was launched by Niti Aayog Vice Chairperson Dr. Rajiv Kumar in the presence of Member Health Dr. Vinod Paul, CEO Amitabh Kant and Advisor SDGs Sanyukta Samadar. Speaking on the occasion, Dr. Rajiv Kumar said, our effort of monitoring SDGs through the Sdg India Index and Dashboard continues to be widely noticed and applauded around the world. He said it remains a rare data-driven initiative to rank our states and union territories by computing a composite index on the SDGs. He expressed confidence that it will remain a matter of aspiration and emulation and help propel monitoring efforts at the international level. CEO Amitabh Kant said, with 1/3 of the journey towards achieving the 2030 agenda behind us, this edition of the index report focuses on the significance of partnerships as its theme. He said the report reflects on the partnerships we have built and strengthened during our SDG efforts. Mr. Kant said the narrative throws light on how collaborative initiatives can result in better outcomes and greater impacts. More from our correspondent.
According to the report, the country's overall SDG score improved by 6 points from 60 in 2019 to 66 in 2020-21. The positive stride towards achieving the target is largely driven by exemplary countrywide performance in clean water and sanitation and affordable and clean energy. Top states in the index are Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Maharashtra. Mizoram, Haryana and Uttarakhand are the top fast-moving states. While in 2019, 10 states and UTs belong to the category of front-runners, 12 more states and UTs find themselves in this category in 2020-21. The Sdg India Index computes goal-wise scores on the 16 SDGs for each state and union territory. Since its inaugural launch in 2018, the index has been comprehensively documenting and ranking the progress made by states and union territories towards achieving sustainable development goals. Anupam Mish, AIR News, Delhi.
The Centre has issued an advisory to all the states and union territories to launch a special drive to issue ration cards to the most vulnerable and economically weaker sections of population. The step has been taken in view of the difficulties faced by the poor people in obtaining a ration card due to the COVID-19 pandemic crisis in the country. The Department of Food and Public Distribution has urged the states and union territories to utilize the available coverage under their National Food Security Act NFSA limit. The operational responsibilities like identification of eligible persons and households under NFSA and issuance of ration cards to them rests with the states and union territories.
Over 22.10 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. More than 22 lakh doses were administered in the last 24 hours. Health Ministry said on a steady and continued downward trajectory, India's active caseload further declined to 17,13,413. Active cases decreased by 80,232 in last 24 hours. India reported 1.34 lakh daily new cases in last 24 hours. There is continued decrease in daily new cases reported in the country. In the last 24 hours, more than 2,11,000 patients recovered from COVID-19. Health Ministry said there are more daily recoveries than the daily new cases for 21 consecutive days. Following a steady growth, recovery rate increased to 92.79%. Daily positivity rate at 6.21%, less than 10% for 10 successive days. 2,887 deaths reported in 24 hours. The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that more than 2 crore 20 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered to the beneficiaries. The ministry has said the central government has provided over 24 crore 17 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. Of this, the total consumption of doses including wastages is over 21 crore 96 lakh. The Union Health Ministry has said that vaccination is a crucial pillar for containment and management of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with test, track, treat and COVID-appropriate behavior. It said the central government has also been facilitating direct procurement of vaccines by the states and union territories.
The Health Ministry has finalized arrangements with Hyderabad-based vaccine manufacturer Biological E to reserve 30 crore of COVID-19 vaccine doses. These vaccine doses will be manufactured and stockpiled by Messrs Biological E from August to December this year. For this purpose, the Union Ministry of Health would be making an advance payment of 1,500 crore rupees to Messrs Biological E. The COVID-19 vaccine of Biological E is currently undergoing Phase 3 clinical trial after showing promising results in Phase 1 and 2 clinical trials. The vaccine being developed by Biological E is likely to be available in the next few months. The proposal of the company was examined and recommended for approval after due diligence by National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19, NEGVAC. In a bid to control the spread of COVID-19 infection in rural areas and to make the villages free from coronavirus, the Maharashtra government has announced a competition to award the villages which would eradicate the virus from their villages. A report.
Maharashtra Rural Development Minister Hassan Mushrif has announced to award the first 3 villages with the cash prize of Rs 50 lakh, 25 lakh and 15 lakh respectively for becoming corona-free with their unique and innovative initiatives. There will be total 18 awards and 3 villages in each of the 6 revenue zones of the state will be selected for it. In addition to this, the villages which have performed well in containing the global pandemic will be awarded the development works of Rs 50 lakh, Rs 25 lakh and Rs 15 lakh respectively. The performance of the villages will be assessed with the help of 22 parameters like formation of corona-free committee, surveillance teams, contact tracing and survey of the villages among others. 50 marks will be given according to these parameters and the best 3 villages will be selected from the 6 revenue zones. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Maharashtra, a major mishap was averted due to the alert technicians of Government COVID Hospital in Midday of Sangli district. There were 3 tanks of liquid oxygen and leakage was found in one of them last night. The technicians in the hospital who were present near the plant quickly informed about the leakage and the oxygen tank technicians were called for repairs. Due to other 2 reserve tankers, the supply of oxygen to the patients was not affected. The leakage in the tank was repaired after an hour. There are 350 patients in the Miraj hospital.
The Rajasthan government has decided to prepare a package to help children who lost their parents due to COVID. The decision was taken in the meeting of Council of Ministers. The government also decided that the community health centers will be strengthened in view of the expected third wave of COVID-19. More from our correspondent.
More than 560 children have lost their parents since April 2020 due to COVID infection. For the rehabilitation and assistance of such children, the information is being uploaded on the portal of National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Additional Director of the Department of Child Rights, Reena Sharma, told that the district administration, police and NGOs are providing information about the such children. Meanwhile, recovery rate has reached at 95.63% in the state. More than 9 lakh people have been recovered in the state so far. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Madhya Pradesh reported below 1,000 corona cases on Wednesday, registering 991 fresh cases and 45 deaths, while 4,113 COVID patients recovered from infection. The corona positive rate reduced to 1.2%. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The number of active cases dropped to 17,136 in the state. More than 20 new cases have been reported in 4 districts. Indore reported 338, Bhopal reported 191, while Jabalpur reported 83 and Gwalior reported 29 fresh COVID cases. Alirajpur reported no fresh case, while Bhind, Harda and Mandla reported 1 positive case each. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has instructed private hospitals in the state attached under Ayushman Bharat Yojana for free treatment to ensure best treatment to COVID patients. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar today flagged off Tika Express vehicle vaccination on wheels to provide vaccine to beneficiaries at their mohalla across the state. Mr. Kumar said 121 Tika Express will move in urban areas of the state to vaccinate people. The drive has been launched to vaccinate above 44 years of people in urban local bodies. For vaccination, there will be an on-spot registration and beneficiaries have to show their Aadhaar card. Meanwhile, the clinical trial of Bharat Biotech's co-vaccine on children began at AIIMS Patna. All 15 kids who voluntarily turned up for the vaccine trial had gone through the screening process such as RT-PCR, antibody test and general checkup prior to receiving their shots. 3 children were found fit for vaccine trials after screening. Children found with antibodies could not participate in the vaccine trial. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, nodal in charge for COVID at AIIMS Patna, said the children who received their first shot are in the age group of 12 to 18 years. After being administered 0.5 ml dose of intramuscular injection, the children were monitored for 2 hours. The second dose will be given after 4 weeks. During this period, their health will be closely monitored. In West Bengal, Kolkata saw its first mobile COVID vaccination center, or CVC, as the civic authority introduced vaccination on wheels today. Around 300 persons have been registered to get the jab from the mobile CVC today. More from our Kolkata correspondent.
Over 1.5 crore people have been vaccinated in the state so far, and now it's time for vaccination on wheels to extend the benefit of inoculation to the masses. Kolkata Municipal Corporation, in association with the Transport Department, has started the service this morning from Posta Bazar area, targeting small traders, workers and daily wagers. After on-spot registration, 10 at a time are getting the jab inside an air-conditioned bus. They are being observed by medical staff for half an hour to see if someone develops any after-effect post-vaccination. Mobile CVCs will be roaming in the market areas, bus terminals and entry points of trucks into the city to vaccinate the super spreaders. Madhuparna Dhar Chaudhary, AIR News, Kolkata.
The Supreme Court has asked the centre to furnish a detailed data on the purchase history till date of all COVID vaccines, including Covaxin, Covishield and Sputnik V. It also asked the centre to place on record all relevant documents and file notings reflecting its thinking culminating in the vaccination policy. A special bench of Justices D.Y. Chandrachud, L.N. Rao and S. Ravindra Bhatt said, while filing its affidavit, the Union of India shall also ensure that copies of all the relevant documents and file notings reflecting its thinking and culminating in the vaccination policy are also annexed on the vaccination policy. The bench has directed the Union of India to file its affidavit within 2 weeks.
Karnataka Women and Child Welfare Minister Shashikala Jole has assured state support for children orphaned due to parents' deaths by COVID. Spending time with 19 orphaned children through video conference in Bengaluru today, the minister said that it is the responsibility of the state to provide solace to such children. She informed that the state has launched Bala Seva program for the COVID-related orphaned children. She said a public campaign will be launched in the state to create awareness on the Bala Seva program. Under this scheme, such orphan children will be paid 3,500 monthly allowance. The Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) has approved the second home-based rapid antigen test kit developed by Abbott Rapid Diagnostics Division, Chicago. The self-use kit named Pan-Bio COVID-19 antigen test device has been given provisional approval till 5th of July, and the price of the kit will be declared by the company after that. ICMR had earlier given its approval to the COVID self-test kit developed by Pune-based MyLab Discovery Solutions. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Niti Aayog releases Sustainable Development Goals Sdg India Index and Dashboard 2020-21. Sdg score improves by 6 points in 2020-21. Centre issues advisory to states and union territories to issue ration cards to the most vulnerable and economically weaker sections of population through a special drive. Health Ministry finalizes arrangements with Hyderabad-based Biological E Limited for 30 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses. Home Minister Amit Shah dedicates 9 oxygen plants set up in different hospitals of Gujarat virtually. India reports 1.34 lakh new COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours. National recovery rate stands at 92.79%, over 22 crore vaccine doses to the beneficiaries till now. Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand cancelled 12 board exams in the wake of COVID pandemic. Bihar and West Bengal introduces mobile COVID vaccination center for speedy coverage. Southwest monsoon makes onset over southern parts of Kerala. And in hockey, Indian men's team maintain 4th while women's team hold to 9th position in FIH World Rankings. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has dedicated 9 oxygen plants in Gujarat through video conferencing today. These oxygen plants set up in different hospitals of the state have been donated by the Vaishnav Youth Organization run by Vaishnavacharya Shri Vrajraj Kumarji. Speaking on this occasion, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that oxygen plants have become essential in every hospital due to COVID-19 pandemic. He said that 135 crore Indians have joined the hands of the Modi government in India's fight against COVID-19. He said that to ensure the supply of oxygen, the railways and the Indian Air Force have played a very important role. He said that the centre has also set up hospitals with oxygen plants with the help of various state governments. He praised the efforts of Vaishnav Youth Organization for their service to humanity. This organization has already set up 29 oxygen plants in Gujarat till now. He praised the doctors and health workers for their relentless service to fight the COVID pandemic.
डॉक्टर, नर्सिस और स्वयंसेवी संस्थाओं ने स्वयं से जिस प्रकार से अपने आप को अपना हित भूलकर समाज के लिए, गरीबों के लिए काम किया है, वो मैं सभी को साधुवाद देना चाहता हूं और उन्हीं के कारण ये लड़ाई इस मुकाम पर पहुंची है.
Indian Railways Run Oxygen Express continues to supply the most essential oxygen to the state from the nook and corner of the country to save the life of corona-critical patients. The 24th Oxygen Express rail reached the inland container depot in Whitefield in Bengaluru today at 11:45 p.m. It started from Kannaluz in Jamnagar in Gujarat on 1st of June at 6:45 p.m. The train carried 110.84 tons of liquid medical oxygen in 6 cryogenic containers. So far, Karnataka has received 2,784.47 metric tons of liquid medical oxygen by rail.
BJP today criticized the Delhi government for not keeping its promise to deliver oxygen cylinders to patients who needed them at home. Addressing a press conference, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra bemoaned that Arvind Kejriwal government is now delivering liquor at home. He said the 2 months of April and May were very important in relation to the second wave of corona. Uttar Pradesh government cancelled 12 board exams of the Uttar Pradesh Madhyamek Shiksha Parishad, popularly called UP board, in the wake of COVID infection. The decision will affect around 26 lakh students of UP board, is considered to be the largest board of Asia in terms of the number of students. Last week, the Uttar Pradesh government took a call to cancel the 10th board exams. Government has said that the security of students is its highest priority and detailed directions and guidelines in this regard will be issued very soon.
Uttarakhand government cancelled their 12th board exams in the state. This was decided in a meeting yesterday. Education Minister of State Arvind Pandey has made the announcement and said that the decision was taken with consent of CM Tirath Singh Rawat in the wake of COVID infection. Decision was also taken in view of the breakthrough announcement by the CBSE. India Meteorological Department has said that the southwest monsoon has set in over southern parts of Kerala today. Recently, IMD has projected that southwest monsoon seasonal rainfall over the country as a whole is most likely to be normal this year. It had said that monsoon rainfall over the country is likely to be 101% of the long period average between the months of June to September this year. Our Thiruvananthapuram correspondent reports that the monsoon in southern parts of Kerala marks the start of the 4-month-long rainfall season in India.
The Enforcement Directorate arrested the Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD Rajya Sabha MP Amrendra Singh Dhari Singh in connection with the money laundering probe related to an alleged fertilizer scam. The case pertains to an alleged fertilizer scam linked to the IFCO and India Potash Limited IPL. Last month, the CBI had registered a corruption case against some IFCO officials linked to the fertilizer scam. Singh, along with Rajiv Saxena, a chartered accountant who was probed in the Augusta Westland scam, is one of the accused in the FIR filed by the CBI on May 17th. In Tamil Nadu, the state government has announced new plans on the event of Kalainar's 97th birthday today. A slew of new schemes were announced and Chief Minister Stalin inaugurated distribution of welfare schemes during COVID-19. More from our correspondent.
The government said that a 500-bedded multi-specialty hospital for the benefit of the people living in South Chennai will be built at a cost of rupees 250 crore. A library will be built in memorial of Kalaignar at Madurai. Award-winning Tamil writers will be given a house in their own districts. The government also plans to build warehouses and infrastructure facilities to preserve 16,000 tons paddy at a cost of rupees 24 lakh at various places in Tiruvallur district. Transgenders and differently abled people will be allowed to travel free in government buses. Chief Minister Stalin distributed 10 kilograms of rice with 15 grocery items along with second installment of rupees 2,000 compensation during COVID period for ration card holders. He also gave away 4,000 rupees along with provisions and rice to priests who are working at Hindu temples under the state Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Ministry. Chief Minister began the scheme of rupees 5,000 bonus for 1,12,184 police personnel who are working in the forefront of COVID-19. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has announced that the government has decided to extend the validity period of teachers' eligibility test qualifying certificate from 7 years to lifetime. This will be implemented retrospectively from the year 2011. The minister said the states and union territories will take necessary action to revalidate and issue fresh TET certificates to those candidates whose period of 7 years has already elapsed. He termed this a positive step in increasing the employment opportunities for candidates aspiring to make a career in the teaching field. Ranjit Singh Desale, the first Indian teacher to receive the Global Teacher Award, has been appointed by the World Bank as an advisor to the World Bank. Talking to AIR, Mr. Desale said he had been working with the World Bank and had given speeches on the topics such as future of the government and supporting teachers in the age of pandemic. The World Bank has appointed 12 advisors from world over, and Mr. Desale is one of them representing India.
The United Nations declared 3rd June as World Bicycle Day. The union acknowledged the uniqueness, longevity and versatility of the bicycle. It is also an affordable, reliable, clean and environmentally fit sustainable means of transportation. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has called upon everyone to make concerted efforts to promote cycling culture and reap its several health and environmental benefits. In a tweet on World Bicycle Day, Mr. Naidu said, "A bicycle is an affordable and sustainable means of transportation that helps one stay fit, reduces traffic congestion and cuts down pollution." In hockey, Indian men's team maintained their 4th position while women's team held to 9th position in the latest International Hockey Federation World Rankings. Belgium, the reigning world and European champions, lead the table, followed by the 2019 FIH Hockey Pro League winners, Australia. The Netherlands are placed 3rd. In French Open, 2 men's doubles players tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. The French Tennis Federation, FTT, said that both players were from the same team but did not name them. The players have been dropped from the tournament and placed in quarantine. Now the first team on the alternate list of men's doubles will get to compete instead. The federation added that since the start of the tournament, 2,446 tests have been carried out till date on the players and their entourage, and this is the first time this year that the tournament management has had to remove players. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. Minimum temperature was 24 degrees and the maximum will go up to 39 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Chennai will see a partly cloudy sky. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 36 degrees. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will hover between 18 and 26 degrees Celsius. Leh will have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will be between 7 and 17 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will see a generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 16 and 35 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Niti Aayog releases Sustainable Development Goals, Sdg India Index and Dashboard 2020-21. Sdg score improves by 6 points in 2020-21. Centre issues advisory to states and union territories to issue ration cards to the most vulnerable and economically weaker sections of population through a special drive. Health Ministry finalizes arrangements with Hyderabad-based Biological E Limited for 30 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses. Home Minister Amit Shah dedicates 9 oxygen plants set up in different hospitals of Gujarat virtually. India reports 1.34 lakh new COVID-19 cases in last 24 hours.
National recovery rate stands at 92.79%, over 22 crore vaccine doses to the beneficiaries till now. Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand cancel 12th board exams in the wake of COVID pandemic. Bihar and West Bengal introduces mobile COVID vaccination center for speedy coverage. Southwest monsoon makes onset over southern parts of Kerala. And in hockey, Indian men's team maintain 4th, while women's team holds to 9th position in FIH World Rankings. And with that, we end the midday news.